Hey everyone, it's Bryan from HR here. Big news coming out of Central Ohio today. Not just that the Buckeyes beat that team up north, go Bucks, but one of Central Ohio's biggest and most prominent employers is making headlines. Jeni's Splendid ice creams. Y'all heard of them? All 8 scoop shop locations have moved to unionize. About 80 workers filed a petition to hold an election and decide if they want union representation. I want to talk about this as a chief people officer with over 20 years of experience leading in human and organizational behavior, both from the employee perspective and the employer perspective. From the employee side, when workers start talking union, it's almost never out of nowhere. This has been brewing. Something has been going on. It's usually about things like pay and scheduling and staffing levels, safety maybe, or generally feeling like their concerns aren't being heard or acted on. For those of you unfamiliar with a union or why it exists, it's really a formal way for workers to create a formal voice at work, a structure by which they elect representatives and negotiate a contract and lock in things like wages and benefits and scheduling rules and formal processes for handling disputes. From the employer side, in this case, Jeni's Splendid ice creams, this is a splendid opportunity to really hone in and listen, to look internally and ask questions. Because even if leadership doesn't love the idea of a union, the reality is that something in the employee experience pushed people to this point. And so the smartest move here is for leadership to look internally. Start asking the difficult questions. What are people telling us with this action? Where are we falling short on communication or consistency or fairness? And how do we protect the brand, the well-known brand, and respect the people who make that brand possible? Legally, there's a process now. So there'll likely be an election and workers will vote yes or no. Whatever happens, though, the relationship between Jeni's and its employees is still going to matter the next day. For those of you who know me or follow me, you know that I'm not anti-employee, and you know that I'm not anti-employer. I am a believer in better workplaces, and that's what makes me good at my job. That's what I do. It's my craft. And so if you're a Jeni's employee and you've got questions about what this means or what happens next, my DMs are open. Shoot me a message. I'm happy to help. And Jeni, if by some chance this crosses your feed and you want to do this right and keep growing a healthy, thriving company, I'd be happy to talk through how to navigate this in a way that respects both your people and your business. Because, folks, this is what real world HR looks like. This is what HR should be doing, is navigating these kinds of conversations, preventing us from getting this far, and creating workplaces where people want to show up every day and bring the best versions of themselves, so that the organization itself can execute its mission and purpose, and be a staple in the community to which it serves. So I'm Bryan from HR. Very interesting situation going on in Columbus. We're going to follow this one. Reach out if you have questions. Bye.